Hello guys and welcome back. So it looks like I've discovered a different behavior for the boolean or a way to fix it. I'm not so sure how stable this is, but what I've done is, first of all, I've changed a few things in this curve. This guy, we didn't have a fuse before. Well, we had a fuse before, but it was not deleting a lot of points. So I've increased that, and it's just one per corner, and I don't have any bevels anymore. It's much more simplified. And then what I've done is I merged this guy, which doesn't make sense to me, with this guy. Okay, all the geometry, I merged that together, and I ran this with a boolean, and it worked, which was quite surprising to me. That means maybe we can do all these guys all at once, and it will create a cleaner geometry, or it will be more stable. I don't know if the geometry will change. Now there's one node that I use when I'm done with this, because you don't want to have any manifolds or any weird geometry. I use a node called polydoctor, and this will change the geometry or triangulate it where it needs to be. It may look a bit weird here with the triangles and everything, but this is what needs to be done to make this better suited for rendering or for real-time rendering. So this is going to create a much more production ready mesh, even though the wires is not very interesting. Cool. Okay, so I think that fixes the issue, and so far what I wanted to do is add this cool design here. And now I'm gonna add back this guy. I don't know where, I think I lost that somewhere, or I removed it, but I think it makes more sense to add it here anyway. So let's select this guy. I'm gonna remove the polydoctor for now. I don't need it at this point. So let's do this, and let's extrude that. Okay, cool. Let's continue. So the next thing I want to add, I want to create another motif and add to this geometry. Let me check a few more things. Okay, so one more thing here in terms of, just to match what I had before. I also had all this selected, and I'm gonna bevel this or add a different geometry later. And what I want to do is I'm gonna add this guy here, this motif. So I'm going to select this part, and I'm going to blast it. I want a separate copy of this. We can leave the original one in the mesh, but we need this guy, and we're gonna process it. Cool. So let me check a few things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a soft transform, and I'm sure you guys noticed this. I do that a lot. So I'm gonna extrude this mesh, and I'll show you what the direction of the extrude will do to it. And I'm not gonna use the distance. I'm gonna use the transform. Actually, I don't need this. I'm gonna do it in a simpler way. So I'm going to, let's create a transform, and I'm going to set the pivot to be the center. Okay, I'm going to template the original, and this is what I need. Okay, and then I'm gonna bridge this. I'm gonna fill it with polygons. So I'm going to merge these two guys, and I'm going to select the edges. Double click here and hit tab, type in bridge. I'm going to use a poly bridge, and then double click here and hit enter. I see it's going all the way crazy, so I'm going to click reverse winding there, and that fixed the winding issue. Cool. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to use a line that I'm going to copy from the previous scene. So I've created a line here that has 200 points, and using a soft transform. Let's do it again. And select the top points, hit soft transform, and move this. Increase the radius, and there we have an interesting curve. Now I'm going to transform it. Let me use this guy. I'm going to transform it so that it's placed like this compared to this geometry. Okay, you can always change it, and I'm gonna extrude it and give it some thickness. And let me turn this off. I want to extrude it along this axis first and then extrude it back. So let's do this, and let's extrude it back. Okay, turn on output back. See here, it's not working pretty well. So let me turn this off. I just need some volume. I don't care about the direction, and this is going to, if I move it this way, it's going to be it's not going to cause any overlaps between these guys. Let me zero this out. I'm sure you guys have already thought about easier way to do this, and I'm going to do a boolean between this guy and this guy, and now I have that part intersected or remove that, and I can move this, of course. And there we go. This is our new geometry. Let's merge it back. And let's make sure the boolean is working. So this is the poly bridge. Looks like there is some issues here. I can see it from the wires. There's double geometry somewhere. So let's see what's the best way to fix this. Actually, I think it's fine. No, it's not fine. It's hard to tell. Let's do a fuse. See if that helps. Nope. Let me check this and see where the issue is. So I found what the issue is, and I knew it already. The orientation between these faces is not correct. Even with a reverse winding, it's not producing the right result. And we can see it from, if we take a look at the smooth shaded version, you can see that it's not shading properly. So the easiest way to fix this is using a clean node. And I'm going to turn on consolidate points and reverse winding, and that's going to fix the geometry. You can see now it's doing the intersection correctly. I also had to do it here on the clean to produce the correct mesh. So both parts needed to be cleaned up, and here it looks like it's still not working correctly. So yeah, orient polygons as well to fully fix the geometry that we have. And I'm going to resample this line because I think it has a lot of polygons. So something like that. Okay, and then let's transform it a bit more. Cool, and we can also move this guy down to increase that. Okay, let's add it back, and now we have that extra bit added to the geometry. Cool. In the next video, going to continue adding more stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in a bit.